Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have some really good news. Even good enough to, you grab my maker pen. Anyways, this news that we're talking about today is Recroom's new full body avatar developer blog. In this blog, we're actually going to be talking about some pretty cool stuff with full body avatars, and just keep your socks on. This blog says avatar movement and gameplay. They start off with this. In past blogs in this series, we've talked a lot about how the new full body option would look in this one. We'll show it off how it moves and interacts with the in-game world. There are many new ways we express ourselves through our avatar's movements. We point, give a thumbs up, jump, slide, and dance. We shoot lasers, dodge paintballs, throw dodgeballs, and even raise our hands in celebration. The full body option needs to look great doing all those things and more. As you can see from that list, how we move our hands is a big part of how we interact with the world. So let's start there. They have a little note here just saying just chillin', and it's kind of like a little idle animation for the full body characters. Helping hands. One of the most important ways we use our hands in Rec Room is to connect with other players. When we wave hello, fist bump to join a party, or give a high five, we're expressing ourselves to others, and we want those expressions to look great. To accomplish that, we need to think about the hand through the wrist, arm, elbow, shoulder, and even down to the torso, hip, and legs. Pretend someone you know is across a crowd room from you and you wave to them. Do it now. We'll wait. So yeah, just get into that situation. Don't worry, this video will just wait for you guys to do that real quick. Just take your time. All right, you done? Okay. Let's keep reading. Notice how your whole body moves and shifts a bit as you raise your arm. Those are the subtle movements we're trying to capture in the avatar animations to make them feel more alive. Another area we think a lot about is the hands and how they hold objects. Currently, your hand disappears when holding any object. While this was useful in the early days of VR, as we develop full-body avatars, we want hands to be more expressive as you grab objects. It would look a bit weird to cut off your hand while holding something, so instead your hand and fingers take a position that is natural for each object. You'll pick up a coffee mug like you normally would, and throw a frisbee with grabbing an edge. Picking up objects will feel more realistic, and your hands will seamlessly pose to a natural fit for everything in Rec Room. You'll be able to do with all the same things you normally can, except now the objects will be connected to your avatar via your hand. And it's not just hands and fingers around objects we're thinking about. With finger tracking, we need to think about the full range of finger movement. You'll no longer be restricted to a small set of hand motions. Want to wiggle your fingers? Go for it. Want to bust out the horns and rock out? Want to pull up a peace sign? Groovy! Note, finger tracking will ship after the full body avatar option, but that doesn't mean we aren't stoked about it. And they show off a bunch of cool little examples here, which are all sick. We see things like relaxed, bind pose, claw, fist, grip gun, horns, open, pinch, point, reach, and tensed. Let's zoom out and look how the rest of the body moves. There are several ways we move around in Rec Room. Walk, jump, run, climb, crawl, slide, and wall run. Each of those need to look good individually, and the transitions between them need to be seamless. Also, even more so than hand movements, these actions require the whole avatar to be moving in sync to look natural. Take a look at the run animation below. Notice how it's important to get the arms, shoulders, and head moving in sync with the legs. I'm glad Rec Room even admits that climbing needs some work though. Yeah, that's good for them. Anyways, let's continue on. Now, game balance. One of the questions we've gotten about the full body option is, how will it affect game balance in PvP rooms? Specifically, since the full body option has more surface to get hit, will people who choose that option be at a disadvantage in rooms like paintball? We see Rec Room as a fundamentally casual game, one that isn't optimized for rigorous competition, but we still took that question seriously. We ran playtests with some of the most skilled paintballers at Rec Room, where we pitted a team of floating beans against a team of full bodies. The same players took turns using each avatar option, and any part of the avatar hit with a paintball counted as a KO. We found floating beans don't have a significant advantage, and we found that the full bodies are delightful to compete against. With all that in mind, here's the plan. You'll be able to play with either avatar option in any room. Any part of the avatar you can see will be a part you can hit. For competitive formats like leagues, where even the tiniest advantage seems meaningful, organizers are welcome to restrict participants to one avatar type or another. To be honest, I'm glad Rec Room's taking this approach. They're being honest and not just straight up lying to us about this and trying to fix this, because it's pretty obvious. I mean, it's full body, what would you expect? But I think personally, if you're playing PvPs while full body, you just have more skill, despite the disadvantage. Would be fire to see someone just slaying a bunch of bean bodies and then just have the full body. It's crazy, just proving the entire myth wrong. And there's even a funny little note, full body or floating bean, you're gonna get KO'd if you stand on a container and let everyone shoot you, which is true. Now, what's next? Looking back on the whole blog series, we've given you the gist of how the full body avatar option will look, move, and represent you in the Roomiverse. But there's one big piece we haven't gone deep on yet. The full body is the foundation that you'll build on when you make your own clothing and eventually your own avatars. We'll dig into that in the next avatars blog, but before we get into that, we'd like to leave you with the last iteration of the full body option. Now, there's a bunch of cool stuff inside this little what's next feature, and let's talk about it real quick. Now, eventually, we're going to be creating our own avatars. What? Now, they show us a bunch of little casual characters that we've been seeing from some dev vlogs and some new ones as well, and to be quite fair, I'm not a fan at all with this little casual look. Like, they all look the same. It looks like Horizons. It's very yucky and gross. I don't like it, me personally. But honestly, I think once we actually have our own items that inside of Rec Room on these characters, they're going to look just fine. I just don't think that these casual looks work at all with their full bodies. To clear up any confusion, I know people have been asking if this is going to be optional or not. Yes, it's going to be optional. I feel like it's pretty obvious. Why restrict that? Makes no sense. Anyways, us you guys are letting me know your guys' thoughts down inside the comments down below about full body avatars inside of Rec Room. Be sure to check this actual link down inside the description below. Be sure to use code SKULL if you guys want to catch more videos like this. And yeah, thank you guys all for the love and support. And yeah, once you guys are using my code, be sure to actually hit that like button and punch that subscribe button if you guys really want to. I'll catch you guys on to the next video. And without any further ado, Bro Fist!